cover so good. I think they're going to do very well. They'll be at the top.
Deli with the steal. Deli all the way. That was pretty. A little finger roll at the end. Nice touch.
Nothing but net. Aussie Hoops presented by Amy. That was, look, Arizona on fire, but so is our man here, Anthony Dell'Orso, with the nice touch around the basket and the finish. We are very happy to have some time with Anthony Dell'Orso now. It's great to see you, mate, and congrats on everything so far to start the season. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, you guys, for having me.
So 10-0, Ryan. That's in my books is a pretty nice start to the season. Then the #1 ranked team in college hoops here in the US. Anthony, you've had some massive games, whether it's UConn, whether it's the defending champs, Florida. How much fun, I know this is a very easy question to ask, but how much fun are you having playing at this massive school in these unbelievable environments?
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, we've had a great, bunch of opponents, like you said, a bunch of high-level people, high-level environments, UConn at UConn, Florida and Vegas, and it doesn't get better than that. Being able to come up with the win and be so dominant as we've been so far, it's the best feeling in the world.
How explain to everyone at home. Now, we talk about these schools, as people in Australia may not be so familiar with it. Talk about the atmosphere and the environment and the pressure on college sports, especially a big program like Arizona, #1 team in the nation, going on the road. Talk to us about the atmosphere at some of these venues.
Yeah, I mean, you travel quick, kind of like the pros. You get on the plane, you get to the new place, and you're expected to kind of perform like you do in practice, except the difference is you got about 15,000 to 20,000 people watching you, screaming at you, wanting everything to go bad for you. So you really got to block that out, do your best to kind of focus on the game plan that you and your teammates and coaches have gone through, and do everything you can to try and pull that win and take it back home.
So when you moved to Arizona, so for those at home that maybe haven't tracked this story, you're at the Campbell Fighting Camels, which, by the way, is an unbelievable name. And, it must have been tough to leave the Fighting Camels. But you go from that school to Arizona. And when Ryan says there are a lot of eyes in this game, we walk out here at the ESPN studios. It's on all the big screens, that game against UConn. How have you dealt with the pressure that the college game brings, and just how many eyeballs are watching you?
Yeah, it's a completely different stage. Obviously, from that mid-major level at Campbell to now, the highest stage at Arizona, you really, like you said, you're on every person's radar. You're on every set of eyes. So I think you got to do your best to just trust your work. Keep making sure you're in the gym. Don't let those lights get to you. And like I said, you got to stick to the game plan. That's the best part. Your preparation takes care of the game nights. Just find it when you wake up. So I think that's the biggest thing for our team.
And look, Kane mentioned it. You transferred after a couple of years with the Fighting Camels.
Just keep I just want to keep saying
we're going to get it trending back in Australia. But you obviously entered the transfer portal, which has had plenty of question marks around it. When I was in college, as Kane reminded me, I'm quite a bit older than you. Yes. It was less, I guess, common for players to change teams. But how did you navigate the portal, the NIL, and all that has sort of come in the last few years?
Yeah, it's difficult. You kind of enter the portal, you don't know what to expect. In my case, I kind of entered it and basically had almost every school reach out, and that, it's a blessing to have. It's a great problem to have, but it's still a problem. You got to go through it. You got to talk to everyone. And really, when it comes down to it, the money is great, but you really got to think about the basketball choice and let the money take care of itself. And that's why I picked Arizona. Their player development plan for me, and what Coach Tommy's done with international guys is something that really, looked attractive to me, and that was ultimately what got me here.
Yeah, so you're playing in big games, and you mentioned being on the radar of not only people around the college game, but NBA as well, and people are going to start to get an understanding for what you can do. I want to throw to some sound first before I ask you the next question. This is from Dan Hurley, the head coach of UConn, a two-time national champ.
I mean, listen, they've got, Krivas is an NBA player, Koa Pete's an NBA player, Jaden Bradley's an NBA player, Berry's is an NBA player. I actually think Dell'Orso is going to make an NBA team just because he's got size and he shoots it with the way the new NBA plays. I know he wasn't good tonight, but that guy's is maybe the best bench player in the country.
Well, firstly, settle down there, Dan. Our man played well on that night. I watched that game. But Anthony, I've heard you ask or answer this question regarding the NBA aspect of that. I was actually more curious about talking about coming off the bench. So your first year in Arizona, you start really 2/3 of the games that you played, and now you've come off the bench for the entirety of this season so far. What has that adjustment been like? Because we understand young players at the college level perhaps aren't as willing to accept the role like it seems you have?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. It definitely takes time. I wasn't, fully on board with it, I guess, as you start and you kind of learn as you go. But yeah, it's a whole new role for me. I've started pretty much everywhere I've been my whole life. And then, this comes along and there's really two options. You either kind of pout and, feel sorry for yourself, or you figure it out. And I find it's unique. It's something special. I don't think I don't think any team really has the ability that we do. With me, with Tobe coming off with me. But I kind of know what to expect. Coaches talk to me, a bunch about it, and it's no downgrade. It's almost like I get a cheat sheet before going in, and then when I go in, I'm basically a starter. So I don't see it as any negative. I just see it as a way to get the other guys involved and get the best rotation for the best chance at winning.
Yeah, and it looks like your minutes are still even more so than when you were starting. So it's not like the bench role has led to decrease in minutes or opportunities. It's just you guys are so talented and so deep. It's just hard to fit everyone into a starting lineup. But I'm really curious because I went through the college recruiting process just to get over to college. I want to hear about your story from Melbourne, went to Marcelin. I went to Peninsula for a year, and we may have touched you boys up back in the day. But just how how you even got to the Fighting Camels, how the process went for your recruitment to go to college.
Yeah, so I always say it's luck. People around me don't agree, but basically I was a high school kid at Marcelin. About year 11, wanted to try college and thought that was my way. Didn't think NBL wasn't open for me. Trying to get a DP role or anything. So I was like, this is my only hope. Had planned to go roughly in June in America's summer, trying to get to some AAU tournaments. And then I ended up hurting my knee, which I had to get surgery for, and it put me out. So I was basically going through June, already graduated high school, 0 offers, and a busted knee. So I'm sitting on the couch thinking, all right, it's time to go get a job at Safeway. I got nothing. I got a red shirt, or go through another year and then go next year. But before I got hurt, I had actually been posting my Big V basketball games on YouTube just for the fun of it. I've been putting them on there, putting the stats, and randomly one morning, coach at Campbell calls me at 8 a.m., wakes me up, and he's like, "Hey, we saw your YouTube clip. This is what we liked, so we see. How do you feel about coming for a visit?" And I didn't even know what a visit was. I didn't know anything about the school. I didn't know where it was. And then within I think 5 days or so, they flew me and my family out, took a visit, and I signed. And the rest is history.
I've heard people tell the story before that you make your own luck, but posting the stuff on YouTube and then being found that way is the definition of making your own luck. So congrats on everything you've done so far. Now people are, like Dan Hurley, talking about the NBA. So where's your head at? Obviously so early in this college season, but ultimately a big 6 months ahead for you, we hope.
Yeah, I always had my sights in the NBA. It's something I've had since I was a little kid. Always dreamt of getting there and believed I could. And Arizona, Campbell, Arizona, both have done a great job in giving me the opportunity to really go for it. But like you said, it's a long season ahead. I don't think one particular game or one particular moment will define you. So we got a long way to go, and when the season ends and whatever we do, we do. And once that off season comes around, then I'll really go full throttle for the NBA and hopefully make that a reality.
No, we love that. And don't worry, me and Ryan will be working on our bosses to make sure this year we're at the tournament. Yes. We see you guys go on a run in March Madness, and we can't wait for that. Hey, it's been really fun to watch you so far this season, and indeed over the course of your entire college career. So congrats on everything and good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.